Most welcome. Here we shall tour around the coffee farm, and we shall be guided by the manager. We shall begin with the mother garden, together with Felix, who is the coffee development officer with Zulu region. So we shall begin from where coffee starts. So the mother garden, then we shall go to the farm. Then from the farm, we shall come back to the briar. Then from the briar, we shall get few technical words from Mr. Felix, and then we shall proceed to the zone. But as we go around the farm, I invite you to make an observation. You reserve the comment and you drop them in my inbox. Thank you. Let us exercise faster so that we keep time. This is the mother garden. This is the mother garden, and as some already have made comments that the spacing. So this is the mother garden. So the mother garden contains the clones from KR1, KR7, and you are seeing a word there, CWDR, meaning these clones are coffee wilt resistant, the ones you see here. So they were supplied by UCDA before it went to Ministry of Agriculture, and this is the man behind it. So he's the technical advisor, he's working with us and he's working with us, so he can explain more.
Thank you very much, Father Sylvie. Good morning to you all. I also want to welcome you here. Not waste time. We shall go straight to what this is and its purpose. If you can read there on that signpost, this one is a CWDR coffee mother garden. CWDR standing for coffee wilt disease resistant Robusta mother garden. So this is going to be a source of our planting materials, a source of cuttings. For those who have been interacting with us, Father and Manager, you know that we phased out propagation of Robusta seedlings, elite seedlings, because of the coffee wilt disease. So through our research at Napoli, which proves that, we developed coffee varieties that are resistant to coffee wilt disease. And these are the ones, they are the KR lines. So the coffee wilt resistant Robusta coffee in form of, you can call them varieties, but they are lines. There are 7 lines, major lines. Okay, there are 10 lines, but the other like 10 are specifically right.
in this area, we had people who were digging around our Kurmamu. So we thought they would help us to solve the problem of weed, but they were not kind to us. So they uprooted most of the coffee that we had planted here. So at first we planted 10 acres. So these plants that you see, we filled them after they had destroyed almost half of what we had planted. So that's how bad people are. Because some people, they used to tell us, I was here when I was a son, working here when I was a child. My parents worked here, they ate from here. Now where do you want my children to eat from? So eventually they uprooted most of our plantlets that we had planted here. So by the time we came, everything was destroyed. So would be in fact mature plants. So those are the challenges that we encountered at the beginning. So welcome back from that walk. It was a very good exercise for us, some of us. Now from there, from the garden, from the mother garden to the nursery bed, from the nursery bed to the garden. From the garden, we pick only red cherries. So the red cherries will come and dry them here, and like some of us, we dry on the ground.
On the kivera.
On the kivera. Yes. So one of the challenges that our coffee get is those post-harvesting challenges. So most of the time, we mix our coffee with soil, with stones. So then that's why it does not attract good market. So we are very grateful to the team, especially Kimdisha here.
Nebale mugambizi w'omukolo guno nanye kumpaka gisanga kera bikebe nabazaho abantu ba mukama munyikirize mbatangire mbitinisa byanyu habwa akayire ko bakatayito tene kujya kutondogorera cya buriyo munyikirize so nabweki nyowe anyakwimbera akagambi sokana mabaragange nyoba guma yoweri ni miyanga akiki ni museje musita wiwa wabagaya mujukuru wabazira nabakoye. So nimbanza kusima farm manager wekikaro keno akasumya akayakamara hano akemya kena ikikaro kihindukire umuseje kutumutera munga kikaro kihindukire hanyuma mbere tubayire kikaro ko twakerora nyongara kusima diocese hati abantu emimo yagenda kuzoka ni nyongera kusaba diocese injiri baratebeza muno numba Kristo batebeze kuri mu mwani nito tugubore kana abantu abakanyanda hini patichora ni gombora rutete nito tukope kiro kimwe mutu akaguze hantu meno yetufu ngo abakitara koperieke ege ekusaneti ubakane saneti ubo abasibensi bekikale kibalabara batakope batarole eki kisikonyere tukope tutunge sente ninyongera kusima obuhereza wa farm manager na abantu abamwitoroire musija na kwataniza n'abakurungu n'abamwikirizamu nawe n'abakirizamu especially bakuba kebizibu tuba nawe naito nanye ko mwebembeze nabo basunge kizibu byanyeta ibintu tubukasolinga behwa so nahabweki ntasisera akaire ntatwira obwire bwingi muno nimbasiima mwebali kuba hano kama bampira omugisa mutyo muno abaruhanga nihanga lyange
mbe baitu ntakabaliza orubazo rwange mbeire ninsaba kandi nyijukya abukuru bato kwingi oko osobora kwija hano okeheza n'omwani ogurugire mu musiri ogutwara ugakurambura tituguzire mwani tugwire mu musiri onywa akakopa uruhuke. Our chief guest, Dr. Gerard Kyalo, representing Honorable Minister of Agriculture, my Lord Bishop Robert Muhirwa Akiki, members of the Diocesan Council, represented by the chairperson Monsignor Isaiah Mayombo, Vicar General for Fort Diocese, LOC5 chairperson Honorable Richard Ruhinga Aboki, all political leaders present here, staff from Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries present here, head of diocesan commissions and departments for Fort Diocese, all parish priests present here, religious men and women, invited guests, and ladies and gentlemen. Our chief guest, Dr. Gerard Kyalo, Commissioner, Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, the Most Reverend Bishop Robert Muhirwa Akiki, esteemed members of the Finance Council, the revered parish priests, honored guests, local council leaders, especially Honorable Richard Ruhinga, LC5 Kabarole, technical staff from the diocese and local government, and fellow stakeholders. It is my privilege to welcome you to the launch of the Fort Diocese Coffee Development Policy here at Nkruva Farm. The diocese owns coffee farm. Thank you for coming. We are honored to have you with us today, our chief guest, Dr. Gerard Kyalo. We have met several times in our trainings, and I recognize the presence of the revered agronomist. I've forgotten the name, but I liked your presentation. I liked your presentation in that training. Thank you for coming. We appreciate your ministry's tireless effort to promote agricultural development in Uganda. Your presence today underscores the importance of partnership in driving progress, and we look forward to your insights and guidance. Nkruva Farm is more than just a venue for today's event. It represents the diocese's commitment to coffee development and community empowerment. With about 30 acres of coffee currently under production, and our target is to reach 50 acres by the end of this planting season 2025. Nkruva Farm serves as the model for sustainable coffee production and symbol of our diocese's vision for economic growth and development. To your Lordship, Bishop Robert Muhirwa Akiki, we express our deepest gratitude for your visionary leadership and unwavering support for initiatives that uplift our communities. We also appreciate the Finance Council's diligence and expertise in guiding our financial decisions. We'd like to acknowledge the support of the Uganda Coffee Development Authority as we have been moving in the journey, and as we have heard how they've been working with us, and they have committed themselves to continue moving with us until we reach our goal
thank you so much for that support. You have been so instrumental in encouraging, guiding, and supporting us to where we are today. As you explained to us, the benefits that we have benefited from the ministry through UCDA, the dryer, we have seen the weight machine, the mother garden, and as you always promise, others are coming. And I hope today, before the commissioner leaves, he will leave us our cheeks smiling with another promise. You have seen the need. Coffee is a vital crop for our communities, providing a source of income and employment opportunities. As you have heard from the LC1 chairperson, that farm is employing over 30 people, over 30, and we hope to have over 100 workers when we establish a factory there in a few years to come. Through this policy, we aim to empower local coffee farmers, promote sustainable coffee production and handling, and improve the livelihood of our people. We recognize the potential of coffee to transform the lives of our people, particularly women and youth, and contribute to the self-sustainability of our parishes and self-reliance. We hope, we have a vision that once we all embrace coffee planting, in fact, in a few years, I think those will come after us. They will not be beggar parish priests, begging for Christians, quarreling with them. If we produced like 10 tons per year, how much money is that? Mazima genyine turagaruka kujya kuwana na Kristo abakuba tatere musiringi 10 muka box. And we hope this will contribute our self-reliance. Our goal is to ensure that our parishes are not only centers of spiritual growth, but also hubs of economic development, where our communities can thrive and become self-sufficient. Self-sufficient. After me, Father Kakwez will come and give us a successful story, and he will tell us how much he gets from his coffee. This policy is designed to promote social inclusion, ensuring that all members of our communities, regardless of their background or religion, have access to opportunities and benefits from this development policy. To achieve this, we envision each parish playing a critical role in coffee development, with a target of having a minimum of 5 acres of coffee per parish, serving as a model farm for best practices in coffee production and post-harvest handling. These model farms will not only generate income, but also provide platforms for training and demonstration, promoting sustainable coffee production and practices. Exceptions will be made for parishes in areas that may not support the growing of coffee, where alternative income-generating activity may be explored. Mr. Kasande mentioned about cocoa, and where coffee is not doing well, cocoa can do well. Mr. Felix explained to us the arrangement of CocoDev, coffee and cocoa development. So we are not out. Project Zero. Support this vision, we will focus on the following: supporting coffee farmers in improving their yields by providing quality plantlets, promoting sustainable farming practices and environmental stewardship. In the program of COCADEV, we advised not to cut forests and then plant coffee. Because if we cut forests, then we shall then our coffee will not do well. So in other words, we are promoting sustainable farming practices and environmental stewardship, strengthening parish level structures and capacities for effective policy implementation, fostering partnership and collaboration, and that drives growth of coffee development. Our guest of honor, we commit to continue partnering with you, with the Ministry of Agriculture, and especially the Department of Coffee Development, for more guidance and for more support. Empowering women and youth through coffee production and marketing, encouraging social inclusion, equitable access to opportunities and benefits from coffee, promoting value addition through coffee processing and marketing. On this, in one of your speeches, I would love to hear, at least through the UCDA, as you have been doing, at least a coffee roaster and a coffee machine, so that I know in Uganda we are fighting hard to teach people to drink coffee, and I think you can give us a credit because we are doing it. We have provided it, and I think everyone is doing it. So we are ahead. we are partnering with the government. So in order to do that, if we have a coffee machine at the farm, because we are blending it with tourism, every person visiting the farm will be able to taste coffee, and then he will go home and tell the story how coffee tastes, and then it will give them love and thirst for drinking coffee. They will be telling stories, and then that will be promoting the drinking of coffee in Uganda. Promoting value addition through coffee processing. Yes, you have given us a wet machine, and when all the parishes begin to plant, we shall need a coffee huller. Strengthening cooperatives to enhance market access and bargaining power. This is our vision, that all the parishes, we form a cooperative as a diocese, and then we don't sell because we want money. We shall sell when prices are high. So we shall be able to store our coffee until the prices are favorable. So that will be achieved if we work together, my dear priests. If we work together, we shall be able to reach that far. I'd like to extend my sincere appreciation to the Resource Commission of the Diocese for their diligence, especially headed by Reverend Father Thaddeus Musave Amoti, for your diligent implementation of Finance Council's decision and for organizing this important function. Your efforts have been instrumental in bringing this policy to life, and we are grateful for your dedication and hard work. With that, I wish you all a fruitful function and meaningful deliberations. Let us work together to make a meaningful difference and bring hope to our communities through the coffee power. For God and my country, Father Tsime Thaddeus,
the Bishop of Fort Portal Catholic Diocese, our chief guest, the Commissioner, Coffee Development Department, representing the Honorable Minister of Agriculture, Assistant Commissioner, Coffee Development, our dear LC5 Chairperson, Kabarore District, and all district political leaders present here, parish priests, farmer leaders, development partners, fellow technical staff from the district, local governments, fellow technical staff from the regional, they invite our regional staff to come here, those who are present here. My Lord Bishop and Chief Guest, the Minister of Agriculture and under the Coffee Development Department, we have regional offices spread over the country. And I'm glad to report to you that Fort Portal Diocese is fully covered by Rwenzori region. Coffee Department of the Ministry of Agriculture, Rwenzori region. And we have staff spread all over the region and within the diocese coverage. I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce those who are present here. On the extreme left is Mr. Arinda Moses. He's the Regional Agriculture Officer Coffee for Kamwenge and Chitagwenda sub-region. Then we have Mr. Mwesige Peter. In charge is the Regional Agriculture Officer for Chenjojo, Chegegwa, and Kagadi sub-region. Then we have Engineer Safira Kemjisha. She's an agriculture engineer. She covers the whole region. Our region covers 10 districts. And she's in charge of monitoring and ensuring that the coffee that is produced, coffee that is traded, is of the standards that the country and the world requires. Then my name is Felix Muhire, and I'm the Regional Agriculture Officer for Kabarore District, for Porto City, Nyangabu districts. I'm also currently taking care of Wundubujo and Toroko districts. One of our staff is not present here today, but is in charge of Kasese district. I think Kasese is out of Fort Portal Diocese. But as you can see, the rest of the districts in the diocese are covered by our staff. It is with deep honor that I speak to you today at this landmark occasion, the official launch of the Coffee Development Policy of the Fort Portal Catholic Diocese. This policy represents more than just a document. It is a bold and deliberate step toward rural transformation, economic empowerment, and sustainable agriculture within the diocese and the wider Rwenzori region and the country at large. So as the regional technical arm of the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, specifically the Coffee Development Department, we are proud to have walked this journey with the diocese, and we are here to reaffirm our full and continued support. Long before formalization through the Memorandum of Understanding with the diocese, I'm glad to inform you that we actually had to formalize our collaboration with the diocese with the main aim of developing the coffee sector in the region. So UCDA and now the Coffee Department of the Ministry of Agriculture, we have a formal memorandum of understanding with the diocese with clear responsibilities for each parties, but in matters concerning developing the coffee sector in the region. But before formalization through the Memorandum of Understanding, our collaboration had already taken root. It is on that foundation that we have built one of the most promising church-government partnerships in Uganda's COVID sector. Under this partnership, we have, like we had earlier during the coffee farm tour, we have supplied over 10,000 coffee wilt disease-resistant plantlets to establish the initial 20 acres of the Nkuruba farm estate that belongs to the diocese. We have trained diocesan staff, farm staff, on proper agronomic practices and coffee management, supported the development of a CWDR mother garden, like you saw, for sustainable seedling multiplication throughout the diocese and the region. And in partnership with the UNDP, we installed a solar dryer to promote energy efficient post-harvest handling. That was explained very well by our engineer. We've also provided a wet processing machine. And in the course of our collaboration, we also supported the diocese farm with organic fertilizer. Yes, the organic fertilizer was being given to farmers who had shown intention of doing stamping, but Fort Portal Diocese Farm, as a model farm, we supported them with a few bags of organic fertilizer, to showcase, the importance of fertilizer application to other farmers and the parishes that are covered by the diocese. Then also, we supported the diocese with a modern and standard moisture meter to make sure the coffee quality is maintained. We are doing all this, not that the diocese doesn't have capacity to do some of these things, but we are proud to associate ourselves with the transformation that is taking place, but also the main aim of making the diocese farm a center of coffee excellence in the region and in the country, with the aim of social and economic transformation. Right now we are supporting the diocese in establishing a further 30 acres under the COCODEF project, like you could have heard earlier. So all this has been done not as an event, but as part of an ongoing process, one driven by trust, commitment, and shared purpose. As clearly laid out in the MOU, the Ministry of Agriculture, through the Coffee Development Department, is committed to providing continuous technical and extension services, training farmers, youth groups, and church-led initiatives, supporting nursery certifications, quality control, and market linkages, and promoting climate-smart practices, farm organizations, and value addition. These responsibilities are not abstract. They are being implemented on the ground, right here in the diocese, with tangible results, like you could have witnessed. This coffee development policy of the diocese is timely. And I want to thank you for this great achievement as a diocese. I want to thank you for being intentional. It aligns perfectly with the Ministry of Agriculture's national objectives and our regional development priorities. But policies do not implement themselves. That responsibility lies with all of us, especially with the diocese leadership. As regional staff, we are committed to working with you every step of the way. We pledge to provide hands-on technical support throughout the policy implementation process, to coordinate with other MAIF departments and development partners to ensure holistic support, in addition to what we are doing with you, to facilitate trainings, linkages, and oversight that will translate this policy into impact on the ground. We encourage the diocese to take full ownership, mobilize your structures, activate your partnerships, and empower your farmer communities to make this policy a living instrument of transformation. To your grace and the leadership of the diocese, we salute your vision. To our leadership at the Ministry of Agriculture, a commissioner and assistant commissioner, we want to thank you for the policy framework and institutional backing that makes our regional work possible. As the Ministry of Agriculture technical team in the Rwenzori region, we remain fully committed to this journey, and together we believe coffee will not only be a crop, but a catalyst for spiritual and socio-economic renewal. We urge you to work together to grow a more resilient, empowered, and coffee-driven future right here in the diocese, the region, and the country at large. I'd like to thank you. May God bless you as we transform this sector through the coffee enterprise. And for God, my country, Felix Muhire, and I've been representing the regional manager, is not around.
Our chief guest, the commissioner from the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, representing the minister, my Lord Bishop, and all guests. I would like to associate myself with the protocol that has already been lined up. And I would like to invite the few members of the Diocesan Finance Council who are present to come and stand here with me. The members of the Diocesan Finance Council. My Lord Bishop and our chief guest, the people standing here are members of the Diocesan Finance Council on whose behalf I speak. And we are proud to associate with the policy that is going to be launched today, because it is our product. And I would like to thank the members of the Planning and Investment Committee of the Diocese, whom we charged with the responsibility of developing this policy. The Diocesan Coffee Development Policy that's going to be launched today is part of the implementation of the strategic plan of the diocese, where there is integral development envisaged. And what we are launching today is part of that, is a strategy in that direction. And this policy is meant to enhance, first of all, economic development of the diocese by broadening the income base. It is meant to promote coffee growing as a way of empowering the community, so that everybody in this diocese or nobody is left behind. Nobody is left behind in the growth, in the journey of self-reliance and self-sustainability. It has already been mentioned by one of the persons who came to speak here that when people have money, have income, then the church is okay. They have more to offer, and the church as an institution will be okay, and the individual homesteads will be okay as well. The Diocese of Fort Portal, as it has been mentioned, covers the 9 districts in the Rwenzori region, excluding only one of Kasese. So the policy we are talking about is meant for implementation in the whole of that expanse. And if rather the diocese or the church in Fort Portal and the Diocese of Fort Portal as well is both an institution and a community. It's an institution with its structures. It needs income to run and to do any other undertakings as part of its mission. But it is composed of communities. We have parishes. We have 36 parishes in this diocese, covering the whole of that area I have mentioned. And in each of those parishes, there are families, living communities. So this policy is meant to address the whole of that structure, that as an institution, we have an income, and we are growing coffee and developing and sustaining ourselves. Parishes, which are also institutions, are doing the same. And the households, whether of our faith or those who associate with us in any way, are also moving the same direction, because poverty has no religion. When it affects one, it spreads to the others as well. So this policy has that far-reaching effect. I would like to thank our Planning and Investment Committee that has helped us to put in place this policy. And I would like to thank all the other people who have been part of this policy development. I would like to thank the technical team from MAIF. For those who don't know, MAIF is Minister of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries. That's how they commonly call it, the owners. So I'd like to thank the technical team of MAIF that has worked with us this journey. And the policy is finding us already running. When the diocese embraced the coffee enterprise to that scale, we started, and the policy is already finding us on the way. And we hope with this policy, we are going to walk wider strides and reach far. I would like to reiterate one statement which was already made here, that this policy is a document, but it will find real meaning in its implementation. And its implementation is both at institutional level, like we have seen at Nkuruba, and any of our other land where we intend to plant coffee as a diocese, as an institution. But we expect also to have coffee planted in our parishes, and some parishes have already started, as it has been mentioned. We would like to see many more parishes growing coffee at institutional level, but more so see coffee being planted by the community at household level, so that income can be generated from all levels of our diocesan structure and communities, so that poverty can be eradicated from its roots. That's at household level. And when we talk of self-sustainability, it will be widespread and streamlined through our whole structure. That's what we'd love to see, and this is what this policy is meant to enhance. We are very glad that this policy aligns so well with government policy in the Ministry of Agriculture, that we have already been told, and it aligns so well with the cherished NRM manifesto, or rather, whether it's strategy of socio-economic transformation. So now that we are such a strong partner of government, I would like to call for full throttle support from government so that we work together to cause socio-economic transformation for the good of humanity, for the good of the citizens of Uganda living in this region and beyond, and for the good of the church. Because as a church, we stand for the mission of Christ, which is holistic development. Standing on what Jesus said, I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. And that full means that people are well health-wise, economic-wise, in education, and all other areas. And we are here to associate with that mission. And I'd like to thank you so much, Chief Guest, for coming with your whole team, and seeing you, we see success in what we are doing today. I'd like to thank our department for agriculture projects, led by Father Tusime, who is here, for doing us a good job. And for all of you for coming to attend this launch. I thank you so much. As I said, this policy is our product as Finance Council. I'd like to thank my team, and I ask you to leave as people clap for you. And at this point, I invite the person who was behind the production of this, the writing of this policy, that is the consultant, to come here and unveil what is embedded in this document. Thank you so much.
The Vicar General, the guest of honor, Minister of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, Honorable Frank Tumwebaze, represented by Commissioner Gerald Chalo, my Lord Bishop Robert Muhiru Akiki, Bishop of Fort Portal Diocese, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to maintain the protocol as earlier observed. It is my singular honor and pleasure to present this summarized brief of Fort Portal Diocese policy development process. Before I present the summary of this landmark policy, I wish to begin by acknowledging with deep gratitude the invaluable input from various stakeholders, individuals, and institutions who have made this process possible. The Fort Portal Diocesan Coffee Policy is not merely a document. This word has been featuring here by very many speakers before me. It is an outcome of a consultative process marked by commitment, pastoral insight, technical rigor, and community vision. I wish to extend my sincere gratitude to the local government extension staff, the coffee farmer representatives, cooperative union, coffee traders, field-based contributions. And last but not least, and most important, is the parish priest for offering practical feedback on land use, insights, and mobilization, and the Christian community in line with the diocesan shared vision. Monsignor Isaiah has already observed that this policy has found the diocese running. The initiatives have already been taken. The example of Kahunge Parish The examples in various parishes where there is already initiative in growing coffee. I would also want to thank one of our own, Dr. Patience Rwamigisa, Assistant Commissioner Agriculture Extension, who is from this diocese, and for having made an input to this policy, and the dedicated staff, as earlier observed by the previous speakers at the Uganda Coffee Development Authority, who had already signed an MOU with the diocese, for your support and aligning this policy with national agriculture priorities and the global market frameworks. I would like to thank in a very special way Father Edward Muhumuza, Father Joseph Musana, Father Thaddeus Musave, those that were aligned here, Father John Tumhairwe Kamsime, Father Kakwezi Benedict, and Monsignor Isaiah, for their steadfast review and grounding this policy into the theological understanding and pastoral ministry and mission of the church. Your collective wisdom, time and dedication, and strategic reflections have brought this vision to fruition. We thank you all for your servant leadership and commitment to this noble cause of transforming coffee into a tool for integral human development and evangelization. Now I would like to go into, to give an overview, what is this policy about in view of the mission of the church. The Fort Portal Diocesan Coffee Policy is a comprehensive strategic framework developed by the Catholic Diocese of Fort Portal to leverage on coffee farming as a vehicle for poverty alleviation, financial independence of parishes, and integral human development, grounded in the social teachings of the church and the principles of environmental stewardship from Laudato Si. Laudato Si is a very authoritative letter which was issued by the late Pope Francis and is being celebrated, may his soul rest in peace, for having made his stand and position on care for environment and the global Mother Earth. So we have, in this policy, we have tried to integrate those principles. Even when we are planting coffee, we should take consideration of the environmental hazards and risks for us to ensure sustainability of coffee growing. So it's not merely, coffee should not be looked as an economic asset, but as a pastoral tool to transform livelihood across the entire diocese. The purpose and rationale of the policy. This policy has been largely informed by the Diocesan Development Strategic Plan, as earlier observed by the previous speakers. It's a response to socio-economic challenges facing smallholders, including low productivity, market exclusion, climate vulnerability, and financial dependence of the local church. We know very well that the foreign aid support to the local church has been dwindling over years, and the church needs to be independent by mobilizing its own resources. The policy seeks to mobilize parishes, parish land, and community labor resources towards sustainable and competitive coffee production. The initiative, as observed by all the previous speakers, aligns well with the diocesan development aspirations along the various national policies, the National Development 3, the National Development 4, Uganda Coffee Development Authority, and the international standards, including the European Deforestation Free Due Diligence Guidelines. The European Union has issued guidelines on environmental sustainability, and they are instituting a monitoring system where you are able to see, to ensure that those who are planting coffee or cocoa adhere to international human rights standards like prevention of child labor, deforestation, like you can't plant coffee in a swamp. So this policy is cognizant that I'm glad that when we were visiting the other side, Father Tumsime was talking of planting trees in the coffee. So it's within that we are not going to clear the land and leave it bare to plant coffee. So we are going, the diocese will do it concurrently to ensure that it adheres to those, and the effect is there because these people are going to track where coffee is coming from. If someone cuts a forest and plants coffee and it's on their geo mapping, they are able to monitor and see. And that will affect exports of the coffee because they can be able to trace its origin. The strategic objectives of this policy, the key goals include, as pointed out by the previous speakers, promoting sustainable coffee farming through climate-smart agroecological practices. The sustainability is a word that has been used very many times, and sometimes we use words, but the sustainability is that we are looking at practicing agriculture responsibly in consideration of the future for our children, for those who will come after us. That's why we have to maintain the ecosystem, which resonates very well with the Pope Francis Laudato Si. He saw it that's very important for the church to respond to these challenges, development challenges that are sometimes affecting ecology. Enhancing social inclusion by empowering women and youth of marginalized farmers. The church has always stood with the poor and marginalized. Why this is very important, you find that the agriculture experts here will bear with me that as the value chain of coffee develops, it tends to exclude the vulnerable sections of the population. The youth do not have land. Where are they going to grow? And sometimes they're excluded in the market system. Women, traditionally, because of the gender dynamics, tend not to benefit in the high-end benefits from coffee. You find them either collecting, drying, but when the value chain of a commodity goes up, women are sidelined. In agriculture extension and community development from experience, and the parish priest can bear with me, when the harvest is reached, that's when you will have very many people divorcing. Men will beat their women because they have sold and made profit. They marry a second woman, and then the parish priest will come in maybe to Nsonga to mediate and all that. But the underlying cause is poverty. Because the woman has been chased, the man has earned more money, is now thinking of marrying a second wife, and has squandered all the money in the market. So the inclusion, the deliberate aspects of including women and youth is a deliberate strategy in the right direction. The youth are also vulnerable in a sense that this population has this country has the highest number of youth who are unemployed. So there must be deliberate effort targeting these people. That's on the part of social exclusion. Encouraging value addition, certification and market linkages to access premium. Paul here, the private sector expert here, told us, the MC, when we talk of value addition, value chain, we are looking at the coffee right like that we have been from the garden to the entire system to the consumption. And each of those stages creates employment for one person. So in coffee production, there are many actors that can be in. Some would be the chairman, LC1, here was happy that the jobs have been created. Indeed, they can be created. Some will do the weeding. At different levels, communities will be able to benefit. We have already, I don't want to emphasize advancing environmental stewardship through the forestation, soil conservation, and water management. But we also want to build parish level economic resilience and institutional capacity for long-term self-reliance. Poverty is a sin. It it's a sin in a sense that it undermines human dignity. We have quoted in that there is a Pope, I think Pope someone, who talks of populorum progressio. He's a celebrated Pope who identified that undermining the dignity, poverty makes people vulnerable. And when it makes very vulnerable, they are not able to make informed decisions, and it creates a vicious circle. So this, the Diocese of Fort is on the late track that the church has legitimate mandate to respond to the integral human development. So this is not a far-fetched document that the parish priests are going to propagate. So the implementation framework, as I wind up, the policy shall be implemented through parish-based model farms with a minimum of 3 acres per parish. That is minimum. But I think experts will give us to calculate and see what should we have for us to break even. Because sometimes when you plant less, you may not make economic gain, and it may not make sense for you. So the experts here in agriculture will be, depending on the availability of land in the parish, we will try to encourage and see what the minimum acreage. Because sometimes when someone has, people may concentrate on coffee, and then it leads to poverty of having no food insecurity, or selling all the coffee to buy food. So all those considerations have to be put in place. Then mobilization of cooperatives. Father Tumusime has expounded on this through model farmer field schools. The model farmer field school is an initiative which has been taken where, like now, this diocesan example can be a farmer field school, such that it's not a school like in formal learning, but this model can attract, like all the parishes in the Kamwing and the rest can be carried here in a bus or come and stay if there's a hostel here or live here, go to learn and study for replication of good farming practices, sharing knowledge, adaptation. So that's what we mean by a farmer field school. Then we have mobilization of cooperatives through a model of farmer field schools. I've said knowledge transfer, quality control, and collective, I've mentioned. Then engagement with the local government. This policy will be successful because the agriculture people, we cannot maintain this policy by doing it on our own without involvement of the local government. And I'm glad the local government stakeholders, actually from the local government to the national, Maif are already here. The church is very rich. The little I know is that the Diocese of Fort has financial institutions and is already in circles. We have a very strong Hofocam, we have Caritas Circle and others, all these which can build into in. And on this note, allow me, Mr. Guest of Honor, we are trying through Father, the Chairman Board, Caritas, there is a project in the ministry called Climate Smart Agriculture Transformation Project, World Bank. They are advertised and we want to apply using the diocese circle so that we can leverage on that so that they at least, because if we are supporting farmers, we need also to strengthen the financial institutions which the church has been promoting and which are well registered. The target beneficiaries of this, okay, before that, I need to emphasize the strategic partnership with Maif. I don't want to overstate this. I'm happy that this has already been done. Maif has already supported, but we will need more support from Maif and Uganda Coffee Development Authority, which has been rationalized now in the Ministry of Agriculture. NARO, fortunately for Porto Diocese, is a host to one of the research here. It is called the Ruebtaba. So the diocese is a host of one of agricultural demonstration, which we can develop strategic linkages and be able to support this policy, the realization of the intended benefits from this policy. Who are the targeted beneficiaries? The policy prioritizes smaller coffee farmers in all parishes, especially underperforming on land-rich areas across the 9 civil districts that comprise this diocese. Special focus shall be given to engaging youth and women, as I earlier stated, through the coffee value chain, from production to processing, marketing, and cooperative leadership. What do we envisage? What are the expected outcome? The expected outcome from this policy is improved coffee yields, income level, and market competitiveness. Strengthen local economies and reduce resilience on donor funding. Increase participation of vulnerable groups in economic life. Enhance compliance with the ethical trade and the environmental standards. The monitoring and review of this policy. That's why I would like maybe to ask for a job from the Diocesan Finance Council and Resource. Now this policy is in place, we shall need operational guidelines. We need operational guidelines which are going to clearly state and say, well, because why we need this. Kaunge Parish is ahead of others. Kitwamba Parish is ahead in coffee production. How are we going to see those who are ahead and support? So we need to come out with an operation plan or guidelines if this policy is to be, because Uganda is praised for having very good policies but poorly implemented. And one of the reasons why is because of lack of operation plan. So the operation plan, we will come out with the guidelines with the parish priest, and it will be an informed process, how much land they have, and what resources and what they are benefiting. So then we backstop them and then say, for you, you can plant this, this will give us this, and for this dinner or for this, we expect this amount of coffee and all that. So this policy has to be followed by a clear operation plan. This operation plan, why I have thought about it here, is along the monitoring and review framework which we have already provided in this policy. So as I conclude, I wish to congratulate the Bishop and all of us, the Christians of Fort Portal Diocese, for this landmark tool. A policy is a tool, and it's not cast in stone. So don't just say, these priests, some of you may be having already questions. It's they use the word, I don't know, iterative. You plan and you learn as you plan. Where you find the policy is lacking, still you can inform what you have found the gaps in this. But as we implement, as we go on implementing, we will be receiving feedback from the challenges. That's why we shall have a review after 3 years or 5 years, and then maybe refine it to ensure that the results are achieved. This policy signifies a paradigm shift from aid dependency to parish community empowerment, integrating economic, spiritual, and the ecological dimensions of development. It affirms our diocese's commitment to transform coffee farming into a mission, aligned community-led engine of prosperity and the dignity of the people of God. I wish to thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Aboki. You created him. He's there quoting encyclicals of the church and everything. And a really consultant because he asked for another job.
Stint in UCDA. I went to UCDA to restructure their financial systems because that's my trade. I went there something which was supposed to last 6 months, it ended up lasting almost a year and a half. I can assure you that consultant knows how to do it. I also did it that way. But one of the things I noted was that they were giving seedlings, and I had some reasonable piece of land. So I planted Arabica, lowland Arabica, which people actually call Brazil, what we saw there. And the yield was good. That was 2001, 2. But I was actually an absent farmer. I was doing telefarming, you ring, they tell you this story and what have you. So it was more of a drain. But I continued, I persisted, and I planted 12 acres of Arabica. Why did I plant Arabica? Because my father's coffee had actually been exterminated by coffee wilt, and I didn't want to venture into something which I knew would not work. Later on, around 2012, I ventured into Robusta. And again, they were giving free seedlings. I planted 13 acres. So in total, I have 25 acres. Now, from 2017, my coffee started wilting. By 2019, just before we went into COVID, I decided to uproot the coffee. I uprooted it. I started with 2 acres, and the people came and said, you know, we know this guy must be mad. I said, thank you very much. So I uprooted and planted the coffee wilt resistant variety. And at the beginning, in 2019, you could actually get free seedlings. As we went into full-scale COVID, it stopped. But I was committed. I sold a few cows and bought coffee seedlings. And by 2022, what I planted in 2019, I was having a very good harvest. And I completed the replanting in 2022. What is my experience? Coffee is a product that at any stage you can make money. When coffee flowers, middlemen move around and they will pay. They will pay the farmer. They actually buy flowers. People can take risk. And when they have flowered and they start getting the green beans, another set of risk takers will come in and pay for the green beans. Then it ripens and you pick. There is another set of buyers. And these ones actually even buy in nice cups. You know, these plastic cups, the marijuana cups, they will buy. Now, of course, that is for mainly the people who want to have a drink in the evening. And actually the thieves, because they will steal and they have a market. Now, you dry it. When you dry it, you can sell chiboko. You can harrow it, you know, remove the husk and get clean. You will sell. And actually that is practically now what the good farmers, they reach that stage and the price is good. If you want, you can go to the next stage, you roast and so on, and then you can export. Unfortunately, I have not reached that level, but I think I'll reach it. Now, at each stage, there is a need to actually look after your coffee. So, coffee needs care, real care. It has challenges when you have weed. And actually, when we were walking in the garden, that's what I saw. Weed, weed, weed. If you want to manage your coffee, you must love it. You must get rid of weed. if you can mulch it, and if you can manure it. But also, you must manage the pests. There are several pests. You know, there are those that are diseases, there are those that are viral, there are insects and all that. You must be able to identify and take care of them. What does that mean? You must know your coffee and your coffee must know you. And I mean it. I mean it. Because wherever I pass, I will either break an old branch, prune this. That's how your coffee knows your presence. But if you just stand here and you say you have coffee, you are lying to yourself. The care must be exquisite, and it will give you a return. What can you get out of coffee? You see, when you plant these cuttings, in the third season, you'll get a bean. For example, if you planted in March, the next March, it will have flowered. But that means a lot of care. And the shrub keeps on increasing in size. And as it increases in size, the berries also increase. But it's not only increasing, you have got, with the proper agronomical practices, the size of the bean matters. Because the size moves from 18, I think, up to 12. The bigger, the better. The heavier it is, the better the money. So, from the third to the fifth year, that shrub should be able to give you clean from 2 kilos, sometimes 5 per annum. You make your own calculation, because I don't want your RA to tax me. Of course, there are price fluctuations. Around April, we were selling a kilo of clean at 18,000. It has plummeted, now it is 10,000. But still good, because at one time we were selling it 3,500. So people who are saying, I'm leaving coffee, they have not understood it. Because even at 10,000, it's good. Now, you need to have the sense of plowing part of what you have earned back. When it's still young, you may actually plow back 50%. But as it goes, as the shrub increases, your costs decrease at an increasing rate. So they become smaller. First of all, it is able to cover the weed. It's giving you more berries. And your problem now is actually harvesting and managing the thieves. Yes, because anything of value, the thieves will look at it. So, there are calamities. And I have seen them. I lost those acres. Something I forgot, that at every stage you'll make money, including when the coffee dies. I actually sold 35 trucks of firewood from what died. Firewood, you know, I was the only supplier in Kitagwenda Town Council of firewood. You know, the thieves stole, but I also had enough. So you can see, I don't want to call it the value chain, but that is the chain. That is the chain. So, in short, my experience has been there are challenges. But you must hang in there. You must learn from other farmers. If there are seminars, attend. If there are challenges, face them head on. And when you earn the money, reward yourself. Yes, reward yourself. So when I earn the money, I am a Rotarian, I go for conventions. Monsignor knows what it costs to go for a convention. It's a good amount of money. You must reward yourself. And of course, don't forget your workers. Those are the people who actually give you that money. On my farm, I have about 30 families that subsist on my farm. And the main activity is coffee. I have other activities, but about 60% is coffee. So if you take 60% of 30 families, you will see. And once in a while, I even put up a scheme to help pay school fees and what have you for those families. So it is, it is something that can change lives. I want to conclude by saying that the coffee, at least from my experience, is the only crop I have seen that sustainably gives you income. It's the only crop I have seen that you will be born, it nurtures you, and even at old age, it will nurture you. Now, if you want to age gracefully, grow coffee.
My Lord the Bishop of Fort Portal Catholic Diocese, Akiki Dr. Robert K. Muhirwa, Vicar General here present, Assistant Commissioners, our Parish Priest together with their Head of Lighties, Treasurer General in our midst, Heads of Commissions of Fort Portal Catholic Diocese, religious men and women here present, the religious faithfuls, local government officials, Chief Administrative Officer, District Production Officer, Senior Assistant Secretary and the other extension staff, the media, and all of you distinguished ladies and gentlemen. My Lord, on behalf of the district leadership, allow me welcome our chief guest to Kabarole District, representing the minister to preside over this very, very important occasion where we launch the coffee policy for the Diocese of Fort Portal. We welcome you and thank you for finding time to come and grace this very, very historic event here in Kabarole. To allow me to appreciate the Catholic Diocese of Fort Portal for embracing the NRM policy and drive in the fight against poverty and embracing the socio-economic transformation agenda of this country. We appreciate you, my Lord the Bishop, and the entire Diocesan team for working towards a holistic ministry as pointed out in John 10:10, that we are leading a campaign to have our Christians and the faithfuls live life to its fullest. We do not take that one for granted, and we are happy that today, as a local government, we are witnessing the diocese champion this paradigm shift from relying on the Sunday collections and the other collections and moving towards a self-sustaining church where we are able to generate our own income using our locally available resources. As a local government, we appreciate this intervention because as a district, we chose to divide the district deliberately, Mr. Commissioner, into 4 agroeconomic zones, And on each zone, we have an intervention that we do promote. On one part, we promote coffee growing. On the other, we promote tea farming. On the other, we promote dairy farming. And on another, we promote banana growing. So the Catholic Diocese of Fort Portal falls into one of our agroeconomic zoning, and that is coffee farming. We welcome, my Lord, the policy that is yet to be launched today, and we undertake that as a local government falling within this ecclesiastical jurisdiction, we shall embrace the policy, we shall support it as a shared vision, and we shall cascade it downwards to our people as something that means good to our people. And we do note that on the other part, our coffee farmers have faced numerous challenges, as our tea farmers have faced numerous challenges as a result of the absence of a policy governing tea farming. The challenges being faced by the tea farmers in this country are not global, nor are they regional, but they are as a result of the absence of a policy that governs tea farming. And therefore, when we look at this diocese launching a policy that governs the coffee growing, it is something that is in the right direction, and we hasten to add that it will help our farmers manage the growing of coffee and maintain the quality of the same. We do note that in the recent past, our farmers like Amoti did mention in his testimony are getting derailed into the similar situations like the tea farmers, of selling their gardens at flowering level, of harvesting the coffee that is not yet ready, and as a result we risk falling into the trap of the tea farmers in this country. And therefore the policy that is to be launched today, I do believe that it will help our farmers work within the provisions of the same policy, that it will help our farmers go for the harvest when the coffee is ripe and ready for harvest, thereby maintaining the quality that we do send to the international market and maintaining the prices as they are. We appreciate that coffee today is our green gold, and therefore I implore our farmers to maintain the quality as much as possible so that we do not slip into the challenge of the tea farmers which we are battling with today. My Lord, we appreciate that this policy, as it promotes coffee growing, will help our parishes out there to also embrace the coffee farming, that it will help us employ a number of our young people out there, and it will help us build a vibrant, inclusive, and sustainable coffee development programs across our parishes in this diocese. We call for the inclusion of our young people out there, as well as the old people. In his conclusion, Amot, who gave the testimony, said, and I quote, "If you want to age gracefully, grow coffee." I must embrace that, and we shall cascade the same. And personally, as a person speaking on behalf of local governments, we do pledge that we shall carry on this message, and take it very importantly, and be able to age gracefully as we do coffee farming. Mr. Commissioner, once again, I welcome you, who represented the Honorable Minister here, and my Lord the Bishop, I once again congratulate you for championing this very important policy that touches on the livelihoods of our people, especially as it blends so well with NDP4 and the NRM strategic direction of embracing socio-economic transformation. I thank you for your kind attention and God bless you.
This policy with the government, policy on agriculture and development. We highly appreciate your input and collaboration as the technical team of Felix, Kemgisha, and the other members. As said, we already started working with you much earlier, and we had that MOU, which I beg that we continue in spite of the shifting of goals within the Ministry of Agriculture. So I'd like to, in a special way, to appreciate Honorable Frank Mwebaze, the Minister of Agriculture, who was supposed to be with us, but has delegated Dr. Gerald Chalo to represent him. We thank you, Dr. Gerald, for accepting to come and be with us today and to honor our being with us and all this time. We thank you so much for your presence and your input already, which we shall be hearing sooner or later. I'd like to thank the work that has been done on planting coffee that we have seen on our plantation across which we toured. Special appreciation to Father Tadeo Sime Atwoki with the entire team, including the manager, Mr. Timothy, and all the workers. We thank you so much for what you have done in these few years. I also want not forget the manager of the resort here for hosting us with his staff and all that they are doing for us, and I believe they're going to serve us with some good lunch. So we thank you also, the staff of Nkuruba Lake Resort. Allow me now to make a few requests. As we are launching this policy, I'd like to request that we read it. It's one thing to have a policy, beautiful as it may be put, but we need to read it and internalize it. Because if we don't read it and internalize it, it can just be put on our bookshelf and then it's forgotten. It has a lot that we have been told, so let us read it and internalize it and see how best we can implement it with the other stakeholders, especially the technical staff from the region, from our district here, or our districts, because there are so many challenges, as we have had well elaborated by Mr. Kulibanza concerning the growing of coffee and all the other stages. So we are mainly focusing on our parishes, our sub-parishes, our stations, our smoke shine communities, but also our families. So let us strive to see that this policy guides us as we strive to implement it with special regard to women. I remember years back reading somewhere that if you want development, begin with a woman. Begin with a woman. But of course, also, as we are put in this policy, we have to include the youth, who are so many out there, redundant, but they need to be guided to see how we can work with them to implement this policy. I want to make special mention specifically to one group of women, the Catholic Women Association, the CHUA. I think that's a group out there that we can work with right away, but also the others in our parishes. As we work with the women, we cannot leave out the men. So we need to work also with the Catholic Men Association. These are people who are ready out there, ready to work for development. but also the other groups that we may have. In every parish, we have a parish development committee. So let this be one of their tasks to begin with, to see we implement this policy. It will help us greatly to fight poverty, which is something that is really challenging us. As different speakers have mentioned, this is a great cash crop. It's a great cash crop, so let us take it up and use it to fight poverty in our communities. When you look through the policy, and Mr. Kao has mentioned very well, there is M&E, monitoring and evaluation. So this is very important for us to follow, and this policy just be for 5 years. So we need to see in every year what are we supposed to be implementing. So I think we need to have some kind of clear work plan to see after 6 months from today, what shall we have done? By the beginning of January, this is July, or end of February, what shall we be done? Then we'll continuously go evaluating ourselves, so that come next year by this time, we should be able to see that something has been done in implementing this policy. As we are sitting here with our guest of honor, he told me some good news. He said the Ministry of Agriculture has seedlings which they can give us. And Robin, his Assistant Commissioner, confirmed the same. So it is, the onus is on us, so that we apply for those seedlings, and when we get them, make sure we plant them in our parishes and whoever may be in need. But of course, even here at our farm, we need them. So, but he said we have to make a write-up and apply for them officially, but they don't just dish out things anyhow, anyway. So we need to see that in the course of these years, we have a clear work plan which can help us to see that we implement this policy. I'd like now to make a special request of honor to the Ministry of Agriculture, as Father Tsime, who is the priest in charge of agriculture in our diocese, to follow up our requests for the different things that he has mentioned, to help us see that this plan is really not just in theory, but it really takes off and becomes a model farm for the people around here, but also for the rest of the diocese where we have the growing of coffee. I also want to appreciate and stress the point that has been mentioned by Mr. Richard Rwabhinga about the issue of quality. We are suffering with tea because of compromising the quality. People harvesting with machines, branches, instead of picking the two like how it is done in Rwanda. So you have to help us see that we do not compromise the quality of coffee. As we're just beginning to tour, members mentioned to me, people are doing ridiculous things, putting stones in the coffee, putting goat dung into the coffee so that they increase the... It's ridiculous. But these are things that you have to help us, so that we maintain the quality, so that in so doing you can be able to be on the world market. But if we just compromise these things, and then again we shall come to zero as it is now with tea. But that should not happen if you help us to put rigid rules around the same for this product, so that we can be able to maintain the high quality of coffee. So with these few remarks, my dear friends, I want to come to the point of making a declaration. Oh, before that, Father Edward is reminding me of the duty I was supposed to do before doing the declaration. So we have a small token of appreciation that we want to give Honorable Frank Tumwebaze, who has been supporting us greatly in agricultural implementation plans, and we shall ask you kindly to pass on this token to him. So, Dr. Del Jalo, allow us to hand to you the token we are offering Honorable Frank Tumwebaze in appreciation for that is the work he's doing, our diocese, and of course the rest of the country, to promote agriculture nationwide. Thank you so much, Dr. Gerald. As we hand over this token to him, he's actually the one going to declare the policy to be in operation for our diocese. So, Dr. Gerald, as you take your seat, I'm guided that I invite you to give your speech, and also at the end of your speech, you declare that we can begin using this policy officially for Fort Portal Diocese. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, my Lord Bishop. A clap for my Lord Bishop as the guest of honor is coming. I will request the media to make sure that you also work on this section here for our launching as the guest of honor concludes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, MC. My Lord Bishop, the LC5 chairperson, colleagues from the district, invited guests, our good farmers, if they are here, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon to you. I am sure you have taken coffee. You don't have energy. What happened? There's no more coffee? Okay. Bishop said that there is coffee, so you better go for coffee and get energy. So my name is Gerard Chalo. I am the Commissioner Coffee Development in the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries. The Department of Coffee Development is what is formerly UCDA, effective 2025, as you are aware. Yes. So today I am humbled to represent the Honorable Minister, Honorable Frank Tumwebaze, at this monumental function where we launch the Fort Portal Diocese Coffee Development Policy. This is perhaps perhaps the first policy. There may be others. So you have taken the bold step to make a policy. I want you to clap for yourselves. Let me begin by conveying the warmest greetings and best wishes from the Honorable Minister, who though unable to be here in person because of commitments, he received a call the other day that he had to go, I think to Ushen. It could be related to tea, the problems of tea. Yes. But I know that he's here with us in spirit. He has asked me to reaffirm the ministry's commitment to strengthening our partnership with the Fort Portal Diocese in your journey to enhance livelihoods, create economic empowerment, and transform communities through coffee. And I have seen in the policy, these are the same words. So we are speaking the same language. And actually the national coffee policy, the coffee roadmap, and the coffee strategic plan, they are all talking about sustainability, economic empowerment, and many other things. So Bishop, we are really on the same level. And I thank you for that. So, Lord Bishop, I would like to applaud your visionary leadership for recognizing the potential of coffee, not only as a crop, but as a vehicle for economic development, dignity, and socio-economic transformation for the people of Rwenzori and Itoro at large. I want to add that this is a bold step, actually, that resonates with the goal of the coffee roadmap. You know that our coffee roadmap, its broad goal is to increase production to 20 million bags. So you are putting your stone on the coffee roadmap. So as a ministry, we are extremely excited to partner with you on this journey. As many people have said, and as we have seen, the ministry has already supported this initiative. We have provided quality coffee seedlings for 30 acres under the Cooperative project, and the coffee is already planted. I will be coming back to harvest with Bishop. I may have missed the first harvest, but I will come back. We have also provided the modern wet processing facility, which you have seen today. The processing facility is really in our effort to improve quality. Bishop, as you said, some of our farmers, out of excitement or poverty, they harvest green beans, or what you people call immature coffee. But this wet mill, as Safira told us, it only works with red cherries. So this is one way to eliminate those who harvest green. We have also provided a solar dryer, which you have seen, in an event to speed up drying and maintain quality. And our team, led by the regional manager, is here and has provided all the necessary support, and I am sure they will continue to do that. Now, I liked my OB, who was at UCDA for some time. He gave the chronology. In fact, I may not say anything. He has told us everything in a very short time. about coffee, the positives and the negatives. And from the finance controller, I thought that we have a theme for today. He said, nobody should be left behind. So the theme for today is nobody should be left behind. So we should all move and benefit from coffee. Now, as a ministry, we are excited. And I am pleased to announce on behalf of the minister who I'm representing that the Minister of Agriculture is prepared to deepen this collaboration. And the ministry will do the following. As I already told the bishop, we will provide seedlings of coffee, both Arabica and CWDR, which is Robusta. Bishop, this coffee is available next week. If you send me the letter tomorrow, if I get the letter tomorrow, Lord Bishop, you will have the allocation letter next week. Lord Bishop, we shall also continue. Our officers are here. They will give you technical support at any time. I know them. So anytime you need them to train farmers on quality, on planting, on anything, they will be here to support you. We shall also, at a later time, avail you some fertilizers, such that we can work on that soil fertility issue. See, soil, it didn't tell you that one of the things he might be struggling with is soil fertility. And all coffee farmers know this, so we shall perhaps not the quantities you need, but there will be something. We are constructing a laboratory for this region in Kasese because of the volume. Rwenzori region is very important, and actually Kasese is number 2 or number 3 in coffee production. That means the volumes there are enormous. Maybe let me remind you that the financial year that just ended on 30th June, financial year 2024-25, we exported 7.7 million bags of coffee as a country. And we earned $2.2 billion. This is the highest we have ever done ever since we started exporting coffee. So if you look at it that way, Kasese has contributed greatly. Same for the entire Rwenzori region. And that's why we decided to construct a laboratory there. And it's going to have a roasting facility. So you can access it free of charge. Roast your coffee to boost domestic consumption. I think I saw a letter, Bishop, I think yesterday, about a hara somewhere. I'm not sure if it came from here, but we will review and see what we can do. We will also work with you to connect you to local and international markets as your volumes increase. And if you want to go to an extra mile of exporting, we will give you the license. So as a ministry, we are committed to working with the diocese on the journey to acquire the license and support in many other activities. My Lord Bishop, ladies and gentlemen, today's launch is not just a ceremony. It's a statement of faith in action. It's a commitment to empowering our communities through sustainable agriculture. I heard the LC5 chairperson talked about sustainable agriculture, and that's what we are all aiming to do. As the Bible says in Ecclesiastes 3:13, that each of them may eat and drink and find satisfaction in all their toil. And this is the gift of God. So we are actually putting in action what God said that we should. But I think he said at the first that if we don't work, we shall not. So if we don't work, we shall not. Let's work hard and we shall achieve all we want. So let us nurture this partnership, church and government. As government, we are ready to support for the common good. Let this coffee program be a beacon of hope, unity, and prosperity across the Rwenzori region and beyond. On behalf of the minister that I'm representing, I once again thank the diocese for this opportunity to work with us. We are ready to serve. May God bless you, and may the Fort Portal Diocese coffee policy flourish and transform lives. Therefore, on behalf of Honorable Minister Frank Tumwebaze, declare the policy launched and ready to be implemented. I think we are going to go here. Yeah. Leaders present, our LC5 chairperson, protocol observed. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Honorable Frank Tumwebaze, I declare the Fort Portal Diocese coffee policy launched and operationalized.
A thunderous clap. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.